Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Esoteric Atlanta. I am so excited to have Sarah Adamson back on the channel
Hello.
for our monthly tea read, which is so exciting, guys. And before we get into it, though, I just want to go ahead and make sure that you are subscribed to Sarah's channel. Of course, all of the links will be down in the description box below because I think what Sarah does is so freaking fascinating. And Sarah also offers her services. You go to her
There you
website,
go.
which is just on her YouTube page. You just click this button right here,
Mhm.
and you go straight to her website, and you can book your own session with Sarah. I just think this is so fascinating. Of course, on this channel, we love our divination on this
Yes.
channel, but I just think it's so fascinating that Sarah reads tea leaves. And if you guys, we've done 2 episodes together before this. I will put those other episodes down in the description box below in case you missed them, so you can see the first introduction. So Sarah talks about her journey, and then we did a February reading, and now
Yes.
we're here to do a March reading. How are you, Sarah?
Yes. I'm good, thank you. Hope everyone is doing really well. It's been a really busy week, but it's been a very good week. And yeah, I'm just really curious to see what's going to come up for March. I really am. I'm a
Interesting.
bit late. I'm a bit late on doing my own biweekly TV reading. I recorded it a few days earlier this week, but I'm going to be posting that hopefully today or tomorrow, probably at this point this weekend. But I'm just really curious to see what's going to come through for the viewers for the month of March, because I don't do monthly readings on my channel. I only do biweekly. So this is exclusive to Esoteric
Exclusive,
Atlanta.
guys. And listen, I totally understand about getting videos up. You guys, running a YouTube channel is really hard. I know
It's hard.
it's hard. It's a full-time job to get your content up, to edit it, to process it. I think I work about 16 hours a day, and it's just for the YouTube channel. Not that's not including all the yoga stuff outside of it. And it's tough.
Right.
It's hard. And so, girl,
Yeah.
don't feel pressure. Like,
Okay. Thank you. Like, we're all doing our best. Remember, like you said this months ago in one of your other videos, we still have our own lives. Like, we still have to do our own errands. We go with our pet. Anyone who's a pet owner, we still have to take your dog out, look after the pet, do your errands, do your groceries. There's still things in our daily lives that we still need to do.
yep.
So we're just sitting in our living rooms or our bedrooms doing the best that we can to record.
Exactly. And this is not a Hollywood set. Nope. We are self-employed basically. And that's one thing I do appreciate, even though YouTube is very compromised by who's controlling it. But the idea of YouTube is actually really genius because they allow you to monetize through commercials. Of course, my monetization is going to somebody else right now, in a different country. So, but the FBI has all that information, and I must be doing quite well with my AdSense because that person just bought a second home. So
Wasn't that intriguing?
obviously
That's
I'm doing
intriguing.
quite well because that's what bought my home. So anyway, but I mean, it's interesting, yeah. But I've been assured there will be an arrest. So I know there's other things happening behind the scenes too with this particular person because they are not. There's worse crimes they have done than steal my AdSense. Let's just put it that way. And the other crimes that I'm aware of are way worse. And I want those crimes to be prosecuted first because I'm still alive. Let's put
Exactly.
it that way. So yeah. So anyway, and of course the universe has supported me throughout this, and I'm doing the ASEA stuff now. It's great. I've got that sponsorship, and so it's all good. It's all good, guys. But yeah.
It's all good.
In the new world, I don't want to say new world, the new timeline, the new earth, a platform like YouTube is fantastic because you get to act as your own producer. And so for people who have, an integral, I know my channel's being spellcasted. I totally get that, guys. That's why I'm shadow banned. It has nothing to do with YouTube. It has everything to do with black magic. Like, I know that, but that's okay. At least I'm cute.
What did you say when many times? Like, we're good. We look good. It's on the side of light. We all look good.
Yeah. They look like shit.
Cute.
Have you seen the Coven members lately? They look like shit.
Not lately, to be honest, because I don't watch any of them anymore. But when my last peek at them, I'm like, geez, pretty obvious something's going on.
Yeah, one picture I was sent with a head Coven member who probably is not female. Hence why this particular Coven member likes to say other people are not their gender because, you point one finger at some person, you got 3 point back at you.
Yeah.
Her boob was falling out. Like, her boob was actually...
We are real women. Just making that comment.
Listen,
collarbone.
Yeah, the collarbone's going up. Yep. See mine go up? Yep, that's female. That's female collarbone.
Very well, but mine is
Right
there.
up. Men go out to the side. So that's one thing. So yeah, so you don't need divination, guys, to know if somebody is the gender they were born into. First of all, why the fuck do you care? Like that's my thing too, is like if someone wants to change their gender, as long as they're not hurting anybody else and they're not grooming children, then why do
I
you
have no
care?
issue. I have no issues with
Yeah.
anyone doing whatever they want to do as long as they're not hurting anyone else. And I've always said, like, love who you want to,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Listen, my best friend is gay, and my best friend started to he's Canadian as well. He liked Mr. T before I did,
Wow.
and he's gay. And listen, he's had way more successful relationships than I've had. It's not exactly. I'm kind of like I'm like live and let live. Like as long as listen, you do you, boo. As long as you're not hurting anyone
Exactly.
or forcing anyone, coercing anybody, then if you want to
Exactly.
run around naked in the backyard and worship fairies, listen, sounds like a good time. I might join you. Like
I have some great fairy music that we can play while that's taking place. Like, I love the fairies. There's nothing wrong
yeah,
with
I
that.
mean, it's
Like,
totally cool as long as you're not hurting anybody. Like that's what makes the world go round.
mm,
But when you start, so as far as like the transgender thing, like live
oh,
and let live as long as they're not hurting anybody and as long as they're not trying to indoctrinate anybody or they're not being and that goes for straight people too. Like straight people can indoctrinate and groom children too, so I'm just
yeah.
that's just bad behavior all around. But
Oh, absolutely.
biologically, for there are things, even if you go on like hormone treatment or have surgery, there are certain things in the physical body that will always be giveaways. One of them is the
Mhm.
collarbone. So you don't need divination for this. If the collarbone goes up in a V like this, it's biologically a female. So I am biologically a female because my collarbones go up like this. If collarbones go straight across, that's a biological male.
Wow. Now, I
There's
learned that from watching you. I learned that from what you had shared in one of your videos.
there's a really great channel. I think it's on BitShow to Rumble, and I can't remember the name of the channel, but it's a girl who is she keeps her face off screen, but she is a biologist, and so she breaks down looking at people's structures, whether
That
or
would
not
be
they
interesting.
are male or female. There's also the way the arm. You can't see us on camera to really point it out because we sit behind desks, but the arm length according to the hips is also, and I can't remember what specifically it is, but I remember measuring it with my boyfriend, and it was true what she had said. Like men's arms will come to a certain point at a hip, where a woman's arms will hit differently on the hip.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and so there are different biological markers, but with the collarbone, a lot of times you can see that anyway because we're on camera and you can see that part of us. But
Mhm.
so you don't need tarot cards or a pendulum to know if somebody is a male or female. Just look at their collarbones.
Yeah.
And why do you care? As long as you're not in a listen, if you're getting into a romantic relationship with someone, you might want to know if their wiener is really theirs or not. But
You're
I would
awesome.
want to know that. Like, is that really? Yeah. So
A minor important detail to know.
yes, but other than that, like whatever, So anyway, but all right, Sarah. So as a weird little turn, we
Just
took
the
here.
normal conversations that one has. It's
I
all
love
good.
these conversations. So anyway, but yeah, we are much cuter on the side of the because my friend Cindy, she's on Sacred Garden Yoga. She comes from a Peruvian line of shamans, and she said many
Oh,
times that
cool.
whether you're practicing black magic or white magic, the magic has to come through you first. So that's
Right.
why people who practice black magic start to look really haggard. I mean,
Makes sense.
one of the victims of this coven that's entrapped in this coven looks like he's aged 20 years since I last saw him. And that's really sad.
That's really sad. That's really sad. I mean, we're all different. We all have our own choices to make. But I mean, things happen. But that's just really sad to hear
Yeah.
that. But I mean, it makes sense though when you stop and think about it. It's one of those things that you don't think about, but it makes sense because if it is coming through you, it doesn't matter if it's like a Reiki healing or energy healing session, it still comes through the practitioner. The client still has to physically, not physically, but energetically comes through your physical being to go to your, in that case, a client. So that does make complete sense.
Yeah. And for anybody who's stuck, I mean, this coven is now multiple people's handlers. They have, there are a lot of truthers out there that now have a handler. And the head of this coven is on so many channels that she now kind of runs now, and she's their handlers. And, we have to have empathy for them because we don't know. Listen, I know how dangerous they are just from my own experiences. And for these people that have gotten stuck in a situation, we do have to have empathy. And I think that's why a lot of them look really rough right now. Like they've aged 20. I mean, the one person I'm thinking of isn't that much older than me and looks like he's aged like, like he looks like an old man. He looks like a grandpa now, and he's not. So that's just shows you the stress that he's under. So we have to have some sort of empathy. Yes, they made their choices. Yes, you made your bed, that's karma. You have to lie in that bed. But we can still, for those of us, we can still have empathy, because this is a dangerous coven. They are out for blood. They do, in fact, that's why they do blood rituals. That's why the head of the coven knows so much about these rituals. So anyway, onwards and upwards.
On that happy note.
At least we look pretty. At least we look good. So
we look good. We're pretty. And where I am, we are now another winter storm warning or advisory or something. If you look at the map of southwestern Ontario, it's like shades of gray and red. Like, yay. Yay, more snow's on the way. It's ready to hop the border and come down to Georgia.
I know, y'all. Just hop the border. Just do it. Because it's raining today, but it's already back to being warm here. So we don't really our winter is like a day and then it like turns around.
Oh no, we're in for another few 10 centimeters, about another 4 inches or so tonight for where we are apparently. So
oh god, if we got that down here, all the bread and water would be sold out of the Piggly Wiggly, and everyone would be thinking the apocalypse was coming. So.
Just yet another day up in southwestern Ontario. Just yet some more snow. Ready to hop the border though. I'm ready to come.
Come on down to Georgia. We got. That's why. But seriously, that's why they say Southern accents like can talk a little slow sometimes. It's because it's so damn hot down here that people just developed a very slow way of talking because it's so fucking hot half the time that they just, it's too much to talk fast. So, Yeah. All right. Well, Sarah, should we get to it? See what the teams have to say for our collective about the month of March?
Absolutely. I'm just reboiling the water. I boiled it a few minutes ago, but I'm just like going to reheat the water just so that it's nice and hot because like lukewarm water, it works, but better when it's
spicy.
Hotter.
We want it potent.
Well, we're using chai tea today. So funny that you said spicy. Where's the package? I took the package. Took off the thingy. Anyway, it is chai
there too. Yeah, and I love that you have your like boiler right there. My granddad, who came through when Sarah did a reading for me on camera, he actually came through. But when I was a little kid and went to spend the night at their house, my granddaddy had like the pancake maker by his seat at the kitchen table, and so he would sit there and make. So it reminds me of that. Like he would make the pancakes and throw pancakes down the table at his grandkids while he was sitting right there. So you talking about that makes me think
cool. Some good witches use cauldrons. Some of us use kettles to boil the water for tea. It's all good.
As long as it makes fire. There's
fire in that water. There's the heater. It's all good. It's almost ready.
While you're boiling that, I'm speaking of making fire. I'm going to actually burn some sage because I did not. I sprayed my Florida water.
I have some. I just have to spray it now.
The Florida water. I'm just going to light some sage. I need to get a new sage stick soon. But just so that we make sure that the space is clean. We know energy is not confined to a specific place. Energy can be fluid. Right now, even though Sarah is up in Canada and I am down here in Georgia, we are sharing the same energy right now. And that's one of those beautiful things about this Great Awakening, I think, is that people are starting to understand how energy works. So I'm just going to clean the space. And I'm going to ask for Michael and Gabriel and all your homeboys, every angel, our homegirl, every angel that can come in. I'm going to call in Magdalene, Yeshua, Odin, Thoth, all the beings of light that are here for our highest good, for Sarah's highest good, for the collective's highest good, if you guys consent, of course.
I consent, of course, yeah.
And protect the space, protect the reading. If there are any nefarious beings that are in our equipment or watching right now that should not be, that wish to do harm, human or otherwise, I ask that all of the beings of the greatest, highest good come and remove those people. And I also revoke permission for the darkness to use any of my wounds as an entry point. You do not have permission to use any of my weaknesses as an entry point You have to leave. Thank you so much, Magdalene, Yashua,
Thank
Thoth, Odin, all the angels. Thank you for being here and helping us clear that space.
Thank you. It's beautiful. Okay. Okay, so is everyone ready for their TV reading for March?
Let's hear it.
Okay.
So, and while
So,
she's doing that, I'm just going to say this is a general reading. Take
yes.
what resonates. There might be
Yes.
multiple messages coming in for multiple people. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Entertainment purposes only. Take what you will, leave what you don't. As you just said, some or all of the information, some, all, or none may apply. This is just a general reading.
That's what makes it so fun.
It is.
We get to hear all sorts of different stuff coming through.
I know, it's so interesting. Like, you never know, and this is what I've said to other people too. Like with TV reading, you never know. And this, I don't mean any degrading to oracle cards or any other form of divination. I love tarot, but you never know in any reading what's going to come through. You never do. And TV reading is just the same. And again, this is the way that I myself read is looking into the future. So possible future outcomes based on the present situation. Time and events can change. We all have free will. Take what you will, leave what you don't. But you never know what's going to come through. I mean that in the most positive way.
And we have some of the coolest, most loving subscribers. I hate using that word, but so if there's, we love that. I know I'm saying we, like I'm the one doing it, but I know that I love to be able to have a platform where we can hopefully have a place if somebody needs to hear something, because there's a great quote, be kind always, because you never know the battle somebody is facing. And so hopefully for whoever's watching right now, there's a message that spirit wants to tell you, and hopefully it will come true. And if there is no message for you, that's fine. Maybe next month there will be.
Absolutely. It may even be for a friend of someone who's watching. So even if you yourself are watching and nothing really resonates, but you hear someone and you end up speaking with one of your friends, you're like, well, wait a second, it may apply to them. It's no different. It's exactly what it's about.
Yeah, we're all here to help each other.
Yep.
And sometimes if you don't get the message this month, sometimes no news is good news. Sometimes spirit says, fine, just hold on.
Absolutely. So I have the tea here. I swirled it, setting the intention for the month of March. It's a general reading. And yes, I'm just going to turn it clockwise. Usually it's 3 times, sometimes it's 4. And years ago, like I always thought with tea leaf reading, you had to do it face to face in the same room. I actually had a potential client years ago, like a good 10 years ago, who was living in the States. And she said, can I have a tea leaf reading? At the time I said no, because I didn't think I could do it. And then 2020 rolled around. I'm like, it's divination. It's going to work.
Yeah.
It works.
Energy is energy.
Energy is energy. But that was my journey that I went through, and you learn as you go. You really do.
Oh, absolutely. It's an evolution. It's all, if you've learned everything you need to learn, then that's it. You leave, and that's, so we call that death, but we don't know, there's really no such thing as death, but
no.
So if you're still here, there's still things to learn, and it still means that some of your best days haven't even happened yet. And so that's exciting.
Beautiful. It is exciting, and it is so interesting. I'm always seeing new things. I'm always learning new things. Most often when I read for a client, I'm always seeing something new, a new grouping, and I'm seeing new things lately as well. Oh, wow, busy month. Okay, sorry. So I'm always learning new things constantly. It's interesting that way too. It always helps you, prepares you for the next reading. Okay, so should we aim?
Busy month.
Sorry, pardon?
I love that it's a busy month.
I took one look. I'm like, geez. Okay, so these are the tea leaves. I'll send you pictures after, so hopefully everyone can see it. Yeah. Busy, and I haven't even really looked. I just did a quick. Oh gosh. So that's just to show the leaves. So I'm ready if you are.
Let's go for it. I'm going to put you on the main screen, girl.
Okay. Now, how long do you want to do this for? How are you for time? Do you want to do like half an hour or?
That sounds perfect. Let's do about half an hour. And if you go a little over, that's fine too, or a little under, no big deal. You just say what you need to say.
Okay, perfect. Now, would you be able to maybe let me know roughly around the 15 or so minute mark, just so that I can sort of gauge myself? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
I'm just going to raise my new ring light that came in. Up it so I have a bit more light here. So my apologies if I start looking washed out, blinding myself as I'm sitting here looking at this ring light. Okay, better. Okay, everyone, let's take a look and see. Now, as a very quick reminder, everyone reads completely differently. That's all good. The way that I myself read is chronological. So now, on the way, and later. The rim is the present situation, the sides are in the way, and the base is more of the distant future. So this is all like happening month of March, and the base is, to me, the end of March looking into April. That's just how I'm approaching it. Okay. Here comes the top of my head again. Okay, so looking at the rim. The beginning of this month is going to be fairly quiet, I would say. So there's likely one main event or situation or one main scenario or whatever word or words you want to use that's taking place at the start of the month where we may be happy that things are calm and clear and quiet. We're happy with that. Not much is happening and we're good with that. And or we wanted to get moving. So I always try and use the positive words and positive expressions. You could also say feeling stuck or stagnant. I flip it by saying we want things to get moving a bit more. Same thing. So there could be that feeling of where we're sort of like, when is this situation going to start changing? I want things to get moving ahead a bit more. This is showing that there's going to be one main area that applies in one main area or event or scenario taking place. Having said that, though, there are a few other smaller scenarios. So simply said, gold, silver, silver, and a few bronzes. That's just one way that I very quickly and easily describe it. So there's going to be a few smaller events or scenarios taking place where things are definitely busier. However, for the most part, there's that one area that we're sort of either frustrated or we're happy with, but it's quieter. But that is definitely going to be changing. And I'm going to do a quick overview and then go in more detail. So this is going to be busy month. That's definitely going to be changing. So the quieter scenario, it's like preluding. This is interesting. This is what I mean about always learning new things. It's a prelude. It's quiet now, but when things do begin to take place, and this is a layout that I often see where we have this one main event or situation, that's just what I call it, one main focus, one main area, one major thing taking place. This is this. The quietness leads to that, but also another quiet time. It's almost like it's related to this main event or scenario taking place, but it's almost like it only refers to like about half of it. And then the other half is going to be fairly quiet. And I hope I'm describing that correctly. I hope that makes sense to people. If not,
yes,
please let me know.
for our audience watching, if that doesn't make sense to you, it might not apply to you. But for other people, that probably, because I know when Sarah did my reading, there were things she said that I was like, oh my God, absolutely 100%. I knew what she was talking about. So when it hits you, it hits you. So that, yeah.
Thank you. And again, tea leaf reading is one very quick reminder. The way that I describe it is it describes events. The way that I describe tea leaf reading is that it describes the qualities and or characteristics of events or situations likely to occur. So I'm literally just describing what I'm seeing rather than saying tree, fairy, person walking. No, I'm telling you what I'm describing to you from what I'm seeing. Okay, so moving on. There's likely something taking place at the beginning of this month. It may involve a female with dark hair and possibly with a prominent nose. It may also be related to a house or property of some kind. And this would be, I always describe whenever I see people in here, I always say it's helpful people.
So this is a good female.
Yeah, I only do good. That's what I say. So again, it's always a take what you will, leave what you don't. But I only do the good.
So a good female with a prominent nose and dark hair.
Okay. And this could even be a departed loved one. So again, everyone, please take what you will and leave what you don't. Okay. The overall event or situation taking place, it's about half of the cup. So this is definitely a significant thing taking place. This is definitely a significant event or situation taking place. There's like one main root, one main core, one main part of it. It does have one, how technical do you want to get? One, two, one, two. It has about two different parts to it where things are definitely calmer and quieter, where there's more talking and thinking, or conversations and discussions and thinking taking place. But for the overall, for the most part, we're going to know where we stand with things. And at the same time, there's a lot of unknowns, there's a lot of surprises. And the reason I'll just quickly briefly show, the reason I'm saying that is because if you look here, you can see how tightly grouped there's many different images in here, very tightly grouped. When I see tightly grouped images, this is just me, I just say it's a surprise, we're not supposed to know right now, there's just a lot of surprises in the way. Because however they are also very clearly formed, we know where we stand, but there's also surprises. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so going forward, there's a very short period of time before this present moment when we're recording this or when people are watching this, to this scenario starting to take place. I've had to put a guess on it. It's just maybe within a matter of a few days of it actually taking place. Definitely. Okay. I'm going to say that there's a reminder here for all of us to pace ourselves, because there is so many things happening in here. And whenever I look at this and I go, where do I start? Just pick a place and go with it. Okay, this is a reminder just to pace yourself. Take your time. Remember, don't be overwhelmed. It's one thing at a time. It's one step at a time. So that might be another reminder for someone watching. There's a horse here. So horses for myself can indicate possibly travel, action, speed, movement, vitality, things going ahead very quickly, very easily, which makes sense with this cup. But there's also definitely a sense of getting things organized and action with that, getting things sorted out, whatever way, shape, or form that may be. But there is this speed, this connection with speed and things taking place, and really going for whatever it is that you want to have, but also getting things straightened out, with gusto, you could even say. That does have multiple parts to it, specifically multiple things associated with that. That is connected to a new opportunity that's being presented at the very start of the month. It's a new opportunity. There may be some conversations regarding that, specifically, possibly money. And it's a really good scenario. Again, this is all like tapestry on a quilt. These are all patches on a quilt, but each individual scenario comprises this entire event. So this is helping specifically to create this really good new opportunity. It's actually a form of a partnership, but it may not be completely obvious at the time, but it is a form of a partnership, and it is starting to form. It does look very positive. There may be a Cancerian connection with this. So whether this is someone who is that sign, or the qualities of like home, nurturing, self-love, self-care, psychic ability, emotional, things along those lines. Very heart-based, very loving, very nurturing. It's a new start. Again, there's a female with dark brown hair, or dark hair. Yes, it's chai tea, but there's different colors in the tea. This lady does also have dark hair. This may be someone watching, or maybe someone else that's being referred to. There also may be indicating here indications of messages, news, and/or information about the home and/or family. But again, this is all about the partnership, the new beginning, self-love, things along those lines. Again, there's this new sense of a new beginning, new creative projects, new ideas. Nothing has. There's these new opportunities that are being discussed. And for the sake of not being repetitive, I've seen three brooms so far. So rather than me consistently saying, because I'm probably going to see it again, I'm guessing at this point, there's getting things organized, sorted, cleaned up, tidied up, whether that is like physical cleaning your dishes, physical cleaning your purging closets, fridges, papers, doesn't matter. It's some form of an organization, getting things organized and tidied up. I won't say that again because I keep saying it, but see that for what you will. Yeah. Some people may be thinking of moving. If so, it looks like yes, it's looking good. It's just maybe not the right, not ready to quite take place, but it is for some people probably most likely being contemplated. It's on the way, just not quite ready at the beginning of the month.
But it's in the works for
It's
people.
definitely in the works. It looks very solid. It looks really good. It's just not quite time yet at the start of the month anyway. Okay. There's a cute baby duck in here. So for baby ducks, any form of a duck really, for me, that means reassurance. That's just what it means to me because ducks thrive land, water, and air. They can fly, swim, walk. They're good wherever they go. So there's
That's a
definitely
good
a sign.
point. That's a
Sorry?
good point. That's it, that ducks can survive.
They can do anything. They're good everywhere they go. So that's just again what ducks mean for myself. They're good everywhere they go. So it's a reassurance that it doesn't matter what is taking place, you're fine. Which is true
Fine.
anyway. But it's nice to hear
Okay,
that.
so I just earned some mad respect for ducks. So
And they're cute. They quack.
cute. Yeah.
They're cute. But there's definitely a good, maybe even a playfulness regarding reassurance at the beginning of the month. It's all good. It really is a matter of perspective. So glass half full versus glass half empty. Gosh, there's just so much in here.
It sounds to me, and Sarah, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm picking up all these pieces. It sounds like for whoever this is for, there is a lot going on, and
Oh,
it
yes.
might feel very overwhelming. And maybe that person might be second guessing because so much is happening at the same time that they feel like they're being pulled in many different directions. But universe is
100%.
saying it's okay. Just keep
It's
going
okay.
with it. All the pieces are going to fall into place.
Absolutely, 100%. I'm glad that you said that because that reminds me to say that I didn't say that we're going to be able to focus on, for the most part, this scenario, not be pulled in any other direction. It's going to be all encompassing enough. So there may be a couple other things taking place, but really, you just don't worry. You're going to be able to focus on what you need to focus on. Don't worry. But there really is positive action forward, positive movement going forward, going for whatever it is that you want to have, not feeling inhibited. Intense protection. And there's definitely abundance and prosperity regarding all of this, what I've just said, that's being presented at the beginning of the month. Some people may be in a romantic relationship or considering it, a little couple smooching. That's great.
We love a couple smooching.
Two of Cups, maybe. It's all good. So there may
be Cups coming.
Ace of Cups. So far, I would say we're at the Two of Cups territory. We're not quite at. I have seen Ace of Cups moments.
We're not at a home base, a home run. Is that what we said in high school? Or we're not a home run yet?
Like whatever. Yeah, exactly.
We still love it. We love a love story.
Love stories are always a good thing. Yeah, there may be a Scorpio connection, or simply said, if it's not a Scorpio, there's a new beginning, or someone who is a Scorpio, but there is a new start regarding everything that I've just mentioned, and this is all at the start of the month. And there also may be, now I know we're in March, so this could be referencing either Aries or Taurus. There may be an Aries or Taurus connection in whatever way, shape, or form that may be, but more than anything, I'd say a Scorpio connection. So new beginnings, going within. There's certainly abundance, and trees for me represent abundance in tea leaf reading. So there's trees in here at the beginning of the month. There's abundance and prosperity taking place. And also indications of it furthering ahead. So it's starting off maybe as a smaller partnership, but indications that it's going to continue to unfold. Yeah. A lot of speed though. And again, this is amazing that it started off very quietly on the rim, and then I'm seeing like a lot of like horses. So again, for me, that means that things are going ahead very quickly. Things are taking place. There's a lot of action and momentum.
Can I just say that whoever this reading is for, I just see like this is a great reading. I'm so happy for whoever this is for, because it sounds like the beginning of a romantic comedy, and like I'm so all these new opportunities coming in, plus the smooching on the side. Like I'm just like, I'm loving this. Whoever this is, like, I am so happy for you.
it's looking really good. I'm happy for them too. I mean, oh, there's just if there's horses, there's a horse jumping, and there's trees and happy faces. There's nothing stop. There's no inhibition. It's going forward very easily. So I'm happy for them too. I really am. I mean, there's happy faces in here. There's multiple happy faces, which it's a good thing. It means that there's things are going well and we're happy with the scenario. New beginnings. There's a reminder to call on your angels should you wish to. You can also say that angels are present, but there's positive movement forward. There's nothing. There's people running, there's people jumping, there's horses jumping, people walking, people dancing, people moving. There's nothing standing in anyone's way. There's no like stagnation that I'm seeing at the start of this month. There may be like momentary setbacks, yes, but that's sort of life too. So maybe just if that happens, just take some time out for your own self-care, but just know that you have so much infinite protection from source, creator, divine around you. Just call on that if should you wish to. Just it's again, it's a matter of perspective whenever we feel like that, obviously too. Like honor your emotions. I'm not saying no, don't, but just also know that you have divine protection to call on source creator if you want, if that's what you wish. But there's a lot of protection that's being shown here.
And Sarah,
which is really good. Yeah.
we're at the 15-minute mark. FYI.
Good to know. I'm still at the top, so it's good to know. Thank you. I'm just up here.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, this is a summary. I mean, we can.
Listen,
that's easy an hour.
This is I want you to write a novel when this is done, because it sounds like your life is about to go into a whirlwind, and it sounds like you're going to be overwhelmed and maybe waiting for the other shoe to drop, but Spirit's saying the other shoe's not going to drop. And if you feel overwhelmed, call on your guides, because they're there to help you and calm you. And
absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of there's a cross in here, and I keep seeing there's 2 dragons. So so far, for me, dragons are like, for my own self, are like extreme protection, extreme love and loyalty and protection. Crosses for myself represent very similar to is that as well. So it's just really a matter of perspective, calling your help, and it's going to be good. There's nothing to worry about that I'm seeing. It's all looking very positive. Unconditional love, support, loyalty and commitment, playfulness, having fun. Much of what I've already said, positive and look forward. Open communication between 2 individuals. This is a little ways down. This is probably around the middle of the month or so. Definitely playfulness, going ahead with things, open communication. It's a very positive scenario. Lots of helpful people around. Some people may even be experiencing a pregnancy. Now, could be an actual physical child. So wonderful. If not, it could be representing new creative projects, new beginnings, creating something new, new beginning, making new things. And person, place, I've seen the letter E a few times. So there's people, places, or things with the letter E that's involved. Especially regarding that pregnancy or the new creative project of some form. There's a letter E involved with that as well, and it just looks really, really good and cute. There's a surprise with that too, and maybe and it's also possibly the letter G that's involved, and even possibly the way it's formed. 2 new opportunities being contemplated, 2 new options, 2 new opportunities. And there may be some money involved with that as well, and helpful people around that. Keeping your thoughts very clear and positive. Things are going to happen very quickly, which we know. Keep seeing a Scorpio connection. So it's not timing involved. It's referencing either the qualities of that sign or someone who is that sign. And again, Aries. So March. So Aries or Taurus as well. I know we're in March, but I keep saying like Taurus or Aries connection, more so than Scorpio.
could the Scorpio connection also be a moon sign for someone? Because moon sign is in the inner world, so that might be how you're like I'm a Scorpio moon, and that's why I'm an Aquarius is my And Aquarians usually detach, but Scorpio, my Scorpio moon is very emotional. So it could be coming from, just wanted to put that out there, that it could possibly
Yes.
even how you're perceiving the situation.
Absolutely. People have asked me similar questions before about, well, could that mean something or could that mean something else? And I always say, yes, I have no idea. It absolutely could be. I'm not God. I have no idea. I'm not going to say yes or no because I don't know. It absolutely could be. Absolutely.
Possibilities are limitless.
100%. Abundance and prosperity, partnerships, new beginnings. There, if people are still thinking of moving, it looks like it may be more clear. Sorry, God's saying yes, more clear around the middle of the month. And there's opportunities around that, multiple of them, but it looks like a very good scenario. And yes, it's regarding a house, but it's also, sorry for the phone. It's also regarding the partnership of some kind. I mean, that could even be the realtor, but or lawyers, but there's a partnership regarding that. Sorry for the music in the background.
No, I see when the phone rings like that in readings, I see that as being very serendipitous, that it's God.
Oh, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad that you think that too. That whenever I hear readings or yeah, I always say, oh, that's God saying yes.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. Like
Yeah.
it's God saying yes.
Because how often do we hear landlines anymore? Like that's
Hardly
totally
ever.
God wink. It's really God.
Hardly ever. Again, unconditional love, support, loyalty, and commitment. Cute little puppy dog face in here. Going down further. There's just so much. Going down further. Person, place, or thing. Excuse me, with the letters. Sorry. A and or W and or C. A, C, and W. Definitely the letter W, very clearly. And that's related to some kind of almost like something, like you said, serendipitous, something magical, something unique, something that's undefined, something that's there's like a genie in the lamp is what I'm seeing. That's what I'm saying. I've never seen that before. So I'm like, okay, like what do I say? What does that mean to me? It means something magical and unique and different, exciting, an exciting opportunity, something that comes from completely left field, that kind of scenario. And that's where the A, C, and W is connected to. And there's a new opportunity regarding that. And it looks very positive. And there's three people communicating. One maybe not as involved in the communications, but there's people communicating about that. And it looks like it results in some discussions, maybe even some money. And there's multiple people involved in that scenario specifically. Yeah, handling the goal. Yeah, okay. So there's possible distance to the family and or money, which I keep seeing. I've seen like children 3 times now. So that could be an Ace of Cups moment. Ace of
That's how we get children, is an Ace of Cups moment. So
right. This may be post Ace of Cups, but
that smooching that's how the smooching might end up with.
Hey, you never know. The smooching looked pretty innocent, but I've seen worse I've seen more extreme than that in tea leaf reading. Yeah. There's a heart at the yeah. So there's definitely a loving, harmonious scenario. Now, whether that is romantic love or other form of love, in terms of like a harmonious scenario, but there's definitely a loving energy throughout this month. Just towards the bottom of the cup here. Person, place, or thing with the letter H and or the number 4 that's involved. Again, the letter W. Again, new beginnings. A lot of conversations. Person, place, or thing with the letter K that's likely taking place towards. I'm jumping around. I'm sorry. Towards the beginning of the second week or so, maybe of March, or in the middle of the month. There's just a lot of surprises. There's a lot of known but yet unknowns throughout the month. Again, the letter W. Keep seeing the letter W. Going down further, number 7. It's like the God number, as Tamara says. Going down further, again, not being inhibited. New opportunities, going for whatever it is that you want to have. I would just say to people, just please don't be overwhelmed, just one step at a time. Looks like it's going to be a very hectic energy, but very, very positive, like a lot of things. It may be very easy to get caught up in things too, potentially. But really going for whatever it is that you want to have. Person, place, or thing with the letter J that's involved. It looks like a very positive scenario. That's good. A lot of Aries and or Taurus connections. Again, this could be people and or the qualities of those signs. Keep seeing that throughout here. A lot of working. Now we're heading into the base. So this is at the end of the month, heading into April. It looks like whatever this scenario is, it looks like it does continue into the end of the month and into the next month. And I say that because if you look here, you can see how the leaves literally flow into the base.
Well, yeah, and it sounds like whatever this is going to be pretty life-changing in a positive way.
In a very positive way. There's a lot happening, but it's very good.
I'm excited for who. I know it sounds like it's going to be overwhelming for whoever's going through this, but it sounds like it's like going to be amazing. And God's saying, just chill out. I've got you, you know?
Absolutely. There's a person, place, or thing with the letter S towards the end of the month. So I'm looking like right at the base now. And also the number 3, helpful. There's helpful people regarding the number 3. So again, not a numerologist. Take that for what you will. The number 3 is present. Helpful people regarding that. Again, positive movement forward, communication between people. I see another heart. It's a very loving scenario. Number 3 again. People in close communication. Almost ready to take a leap of faith. It looks like. Going for whatever it is that you want to have. It's a very, loving, yeah. I think some people are going to be, which makes sense, but I think some people may be having a romantic relationship. There's 2 people looking at each other, little dog's face, standing on the dog. Looks like they're ready to take a leap of faith.
We love it.
With a heart. Movement forward. It looks like some people may be in for a relationship.
That's so exciting.
That's exciting. Good.
I love love. Listen, I don't like reading romance stories. I like my murder mysteries, but I love stories. Listen,
love stories are great. They're the most fun. Just looking a bit further. Yeah, there's another duck. So there's another duck and another dog. Depends how you look at it. So unconditional love, support, loyalty, commitment, protection. Person, place, or thing with the letter J that's associated with that, like an individual, and it looks like a very happy scenario. There's another dog's face. There's a lot of unconditional love and protection, companionship, guardianship, whatever words you want to use, but that whole like dog's man's best friend scenario. And there's definitely a lot of love. You have the letter L, so person, place, or thing, like the person with the letter L that's involved. Now we're heading right into the base itself. A lot of partnerships, a lot of working with other people. And please, everyone, keep in mind that this is like very much a summary. I mean, we could sit here easily for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we're coming up on 30 minutes right now, you guys.
To me, as a reading this is like, I'm saying like nothing because there's just a lot of information. But hopefully this is going to be helping some people. Again, it's this there's new opportunities. Number 3, I won't say it again. I keep seeing the number 3. Positive movement forward, person, place, or thing with the letter F. The letter F that's involved, like a person. Going for whatever it is that you want to have, not feeling uninhibited, new creative projects, creating new things. Now, whether this is again physical children or creative pursuits, that you're creating new things. Unconditional love, support, loyalty, commitment, protection, companionship, compassion, empathy, guardianship, those qualities. From what I'm seeing, you have a huge dog's face here in the base. So no, I will say sometimes people and their pets do come through in tea leaf reading, which sounds kind of odd, but it's true in my experience. So if someone had like a Scotty dog or a dog that looks like a Scotty dog, that they can also take that as a message or a sign from their Scotty dog who maybe has passed, that that dog is coming through in the tea leaves, because it's very clear to me that there's a Scotty dog, or a dog that looks like one, in the base. So that can absolutely be true for someone watching as well. 100%.
Oh, dogs, animals come through a lot, past animals for readings, for people.
Oh,
Which is
absolutely.
reassuring to know that they, no one loves you like your dog loves you. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just going to finish up here, looking one more time in the base. Abundance and prosperity, that involves people working with each other, people working with each other. Letter E, harmoniousness with that scenario, very loving scenario. That's a theme. Keep seeing a lot of hearts this in this cup. It's really good. Just a lot of partnerships, like a lot of working with other people. Again, the letter S. Now there may be someone who is someone who is Libran, or maybe even a Leo, but I would say more likely Leo, Libran or Leo, that is involved, who's a helpful individual, who cares for other people. So letter S and or Leo and or Libran connection with that. I'm going to say a lot of people helping each other. I keep seeing a lot of people with either children or people on their backs, like they're like helping each other, like they're carrying someone as well. I keep seeing that, and after a few times, I'm like, okay, there's children, yes, there's children, but they're helping people. They're literally carrying children on their backs. So it's a helping. Oh, Brice just walked back in. My dog. I think I'm going to leave it for there, because that's mainly what I'm seeing for this month. Hi, Dad.
Well, I'm going to say, for whoever, if this story is like really resonating with you guys, you can, and anybody, even if nothing in this reading was for you, please go to the website.
Sorry.
That's okay, because you can book a private reading with Sarah where she can go deeper into this and pull on you specifically, and not just a general reading. But that's exciting. Like, whoever this reading is for, like, I'm kind of jealous.
It sounds good. It could even be that even if it's not a new romance, it could be a current romance, and it's just a really nice, good time. It could even just be referring to that. That's the thing with tea leaf reading. I have never have an idea. I'm just relaying what I'm saying, but there's so many different ways it could go.
Magdalene just said a rebirthing too, so it could be a relationship that you're revisiting, maybe. That's stopped for whatever reason, an ex that's come back, and Magdalene just said, just listen to your gut. Your gut will tell you where to go.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful message. Thank you, Magdalene. It looks good. I'm just going to say one more time, there's a lot of surprises. Again, look at the leaves. There's a lot of heavy groupings.
Listen,
whenever I see groupings, I'm like, there's a lot of surprises.
Listen, we love a surprise. We love a good we love a good opportunity. I'm literally like, I am so happy for whoever, and it does sound like, I want to say, just for me hearing her, it does sound like whoever's story this is, it sounds like you've been kind of stuck in stagnation, and all of a sudden things are going to start happening, and it might feel overwhelming, and it might feel panicky. And I know for people who've had trauma, you might be waiting for the other shoe to drop, but I think from what I'm getting is Spirit is saying, no, but it's not going to drop. Like, this is it. Like, just listen to this, Magdalene saying it's a rebirthing. Listen to your gut. The universe is always here to support you. I think we're so traumatized by what the controllers have done that we're always waiting for something bad to happen. But if you want your life to be a romantic comedy, guess what? It can be. Love is out there, and there's abundance and limitless love. And, it could be, it kind of sounded too from what I was hearing, and it's going to resonate with people differently, that it might be for some people that a new romance and business opportunity might come wrapped up into one.
It might be. It absolutely could be.
I know that's scary to think about, like getting into a relationship with someone you're also working with, but
It
who
might work
says
though.
those things are supposed to fail? It
Exactly.
might not,
It may,
it might.
may be great. And the rebirth makes sense with the Scorpio indications I keep seeing references to Scorpio. So that makes complete sense with the rebirthing
Yeah.
as
So
well.
if
New
there's
beginning.
I know some people are really adamant about not going back to an ex, and I'm typically one of those people, but I've been learning that there is forgiveness, there is rebuilding, there is change. And so if that's might be the rebirthing too, that a old relationship with new beginnings might be starting as well. And so just listen to your gut, Magdalene, just because it's going to be different for everybody. And this story could be 20 different people's story with different
Oh,
situations. So just listen to your gut and what your gut is.
yes, absolutely. Like I'm one of the first people to say, like, do what you feel is right. And I've told this to clients multiple times throughout the years. I feel like the one thing I'm supposed to say in this lifetime is just do what you feel is right for yourself. I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's the whole point of that's not the point of having a reading in my own opinion experience. That and someone who does readings, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You do what you want to do. I'm just saying what I'm saying. That's literally all I'm
Guidance
doing.
for what your gut already knows, and that's why I think Magdalene loves you, by the way, Sarah. She keeps saying that she loves you.
Oh,
So
does she? Does she
yeah,
really?
yeah, she keeps saying that. Yeah, and she loves the
Oh, thank
intensely
you.
protection that you said, intensely protective, because God, love, all these higher ascended masters are intensely protecting every one of us and intensely loving every single one of us. And they're going to be there. So for everybody walking into this turbulent time we're in, you are intensely protected. That's why the darkness hasn't won yet. That's why
Yeah.
I'm still alive.
Yes. That's probably one of the reasons why I'm still alive. Like I didn't make it almost 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But they're not going to win. They're not going to win, and it's just as simple as that.
And
Because
they can't appreciate a good love story because psychopaths don't love. They use.
no,
They use it. They
it's
pretend
true.
to love.
Sorry, Brie almost knocked over my ring light.
That's okay.
But we can have laughs about
We
things.
love
But
Brie. We love her.
we,
So
she's so cute. And the people have been so sweet. So people sometimes like when they write to me, they're like, "Oh, Brie, I actually read for one individual. And they're like, can I see Brie? I've only ever seen her tail." I'm like, yes, of course.
aw. I was saying I actually have to hop off soon because I have to run off. But I was saying I was reading to my boyfriend. I was saying that I was reading this thing about with dogs they train for movies. And
Oh,
like a Game of Thrones when they would have the dogs and they would have to go into a battle scene. The dogs were trained to go into battle. That they always have to do CGI over their tails because
oh,
each
really?
dog's face is trained to be serious. The tail's always wagging because the tail
That's
shows
cute.
when the dog is happy, it wags its tail. So all the dogs are so happy to be standing out there, the humans, that they have to CGI their tails because
Oh, that's
they're the
funny.
tails. Oh, I love it. I love it. The toad is going crazy.
That's so great. Oh my gosh, yeah. I'll just say one more thing. I mean, there's a big tree at the base of this. So it's just a lot of unknowns. There's gonna be a lot of conversations, a lot of thinking, a lot of like unknowns, but it looks really good. And it looks like there is definitely abundance forming. It looks like it's forming. There's a version of a tree, but it also looks like a pentacle. So
Yep.
it's forming. It's just not quite here yet, which makes sense because it hasn't happened yet. But it looks really good.
I'm so excited. Well, let us know, guys, in the comment section if this resonates with you. And I'm so happy for whoever this is or multiple people. It could be multiple people's stories.
Or parts of it.
I know. Like, let us know if you want to let us know. If you want to keep it private, understandable.
Yeah,
But if you
totally.
want more clarity, if you feel like this story was yours and you want more clarity, again, please go to Sarah's website. You can book a private. I'm gonna have a reading with her soon myself, because there's things I need clarity on too, and I just think you're amazing, Sarah. And I think your ability is because when I see tea leaves in the cup, I just see tea leaves in a cup. So so the fact
It just takes practice. It just takes some practice.
you read for me the first time on air to show people like you were hitting on the question I had asked. And you guys, again, that video will be down in the description box if you want to see it. If you missed that and you want to see what a reading looks like before so you have more understanding. Sarah didn't know the question I'd asked the
No.
universe. She just
No.
read it. She was
No.
hitting things that I had that didn't make sense to her, but made sense to me. And
No,
so,
thank you for
yeah.
that. Yeah, readings never make sense to me when I'm doing them for people. I have no idea what people ask, nor do I want to know because I mean, completely objective. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
It, it actually hinders me if I know, in a way, because I'm inadvertently trying to connect the dots in my mind as
Yeah.
I'm reading it. But no, it's good if I don't know. Bree is agreeing. She's playing on the
Yes.
bed right now with my mom.
God wink. Yeah.
That's got wink.
Well, you guys, please go and subscribe to Sarah and make sure that you look at her website. I think I've always said this before, I'm always looking for gifts to give people, like, cool gifts. I mean, what a great gift to give someone a tea leaf reading. Like, if you got a birthday coming up or a anniversary, or if you just want to be a good friend to someone. And Sarah, I'm so excited. I want to actually introduce you to more people and get you out there because I think you're just a gift to this world, and we need
Oh, you
true
can make me cry.
good divinators out there that are not breaking the rule. You don't break the rules of free will. You don't read on people that don't have. Again, guys, that is a huge thing with divination. You cannot, if a divinator is willing to read on somebody without their permission, whether that person is a celebrity, a politician, or a private individual, that speaks of the integrity of the reader, and that is not good. That is breaking the laws of consent. And so,
like, people have seen in TV reading, and no, we have to quit and really soon, but this is what I've said before in tea leaf reading. People do appear in tea leaf reading. I often see human forms. That's one thing. There's people involved, there's helpful people around, but I'm not reading them. I'm only saying that because
you're giving their description.
People. Exactly.
That's it.
Yep.
There's no names. And so I understand that people who are new to divination might come in and say, hey, can you read on this guy I like? But a good divinator will say, well, no, I can't, because he's not here to give permission.
Exactly.
And so that is something that the universe takes very seriously for people who break the laws of consent. It's not the court system of this world I would worry about, but the court system of the next.
Yep, absolutely. Well said.
So we love you, Sarah, and I am so excited. I can't wait to see whose story this is. I want to hear all about the love story. I want to know if there's babies coming. I want to know what's going on. I just love love. I love a good romance. Like, I love the word that I'm going to have to bring smooch back. The fact that you use the word. Love a good.
Before I realized what I said, I'm like, oh, there's people smooching. Aww.
Listen, and that's one thing about getting older. Sarah and I were born the same year, coming into our 40s. I know how to kiss now, so it gets more enjoyable the older you get. So,
more experience comes with age, right?
I was always pretty good at that. I've been told I was always pretty good at that, but I'm getting red now. Anyway, we love a good romance. I am so excited, you guys, boys and girls, whoever story this is for. We love love, and we love opportunities. We love when our friends and our fellow human beings who have souls are about to have an exciting life. Like, we just love that,
We're excited for them. We're happy. We want people to do well.
Yes. And so if one of us is doing well, we're all going to do well. And so, I'm so excited for whoever's reading that is. Let us know in the comment section, though. Have you had a good make-out session lately? So I'm going to go. Well, actually, I have to go to my boyfriend's show after this. So I have to run off and be like, I'm smooching with him later. So
have a little smooch under the hat.
So anyway, all right, you guys. Well, we love you guys so much, and follow Sarah's description down, or her channel and her website down in the description box below, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Love you. Bye.